My back! My back!
What happened?
Scratching me!
What?
Scratching me! Ow!
Yo, you okay?
Oh, scratching me! Get me the f*** out of here!
Going into the woods alone at night is scary, but what if you come across something or someone you wish you hadn't? Tonight, we're exploring 6 of the most chilling encounters ever caught on camera. These clips might make you think twice before stepping into the woods alone. But here's the twist. What if the real danger isn't out there in the woods, but much closer to home?
Was anyone murdered here?
Disagree.
Okay, disagree about what? People being here a long time ago? I'm hearing something from down there. I've been hearing something. It sounds like almost like somebody's walking around out there.
Mo Sargi, a daring explorer known for his spine-chilling adventures, embarks on yet another terrifying journey. This time, he is venturing into the haunted Tom Cemetery, a place known for its eerie past and ghostly apparitions. Having investigated this location before, Mo is well aware of the horrors that lurk in the darkness. However, this time, he is not alone. Determined to document every paranormal encounter, he brings along his camera and a trusted companion. What awaits them in the shadows is beyond their wildest fears.
What is up, guys? We are finally doing this, something you have been wanting me to do, because on the last video that I did out in this forest, things got crazy. I was here completely by myself, and I told you guys I would only come back to Tom's Cemetery and camp out the night, only if I brought somebody with me. I got Mo on camera right now, so he's gonna be helping me out tonight. We're gonna be camping tonight. We got the tent set up, the sleeping bag set up. The cemetery is just around the corner. I decided that I'm not...
As the camera rolls, Mo welcomes his viewers, setting the stage for what's to come. He reassures his audience that this is a safe space for those seeking an escape from their troubles. But safety is far from what he and his team will experience tonight. Almost immediately, the atmosphere changes. A strange presence can be felt in the air. Then, out of nowhere, a white figure emerges in the distance. Panic sets in as Mo and his companion react.
Bro, there's like a white figure right there. There's a white figure. What is that? Oh my God. Wait, that's towards the cemetery. That's towards the cemetery, right?
What is that? What is that? Do you see it? He exclaims, his voice filled with shock. The camera captures something unexplainable. A shadowy figure standing still, watching them. Then, in a blink, it vanishes. As Mo turns to his partner, a chilling realization dawns upon them. They are not alone. Suddenly, something rushes toward them. Mo instinctively drops his phone, startled by the inhuman force. A dark energy swirls around them, unseen yet undeniably present. They quickly gather themselves, knowing that this is only the beginning of a long and terrifying night. The two explorers make their way deeper into the cemetery, navigating through old, weathered tombstones. The names engraved on the stones tell stories of those who once lived, their spirits now wandering this forsaken land. Mo stops in front of one grave in particular, Thomas Dempsey's. Over the years, Mo has conducted numerous investigations in this very spot, leading him to believe that Tom's spirit is still lingering. "Are there any spirits here that want to communicate with us?" he asks. The response is instant. "My name is Anna," a voice echoes through the spirit box.
All right, guys, we're right by Tom's grave. Thomas Dempsey. We do believe that this is Tom because of investigations we've done years and years and years ago. Are there any spirits here that want to communicate with us?
My name is Anna.
Bro, that was like instant. My name is Anna. All right, we have a spirit named Anna. Anna, are you buried in the cemetery or are you just roaming around? Oh, that's so weird. Look, Thomas Dempsey. And then we got Jane Dempsey.
Mo and his partner exchange uneasy glances. The fact that the voice came through so quickly sends shivers down their spines. Who is Anna? Was she buried here? Or is she merely passing through, drawn by their presence? As they scan the area, another unsettling discovery is made. More tombstones with the name Dempsey appear before them, hinting at a long-lost family buried in this cursed ground.
Where did I see it, Joseph? It wasn't on the... Oh! What was the first thing we got? Anna! Oh, bro, my name is Anna. That was the first thing we got. We didn't even realize that Annie Dempsey, Tom's family member.
You're standing right here too.
Oh my, yeah, that's like, bro, I didn't even clue in to look at this grave. That is crazy, but I seen a Joseph somewhere. There's no way. There it is. Joseph.
No way.
Loving memory of Joseph. Hey, Joseph, is this your grave over here? Joseph Ingram died in 1909. His wife, Anne. What are the odds of that, bro? That's crazy. Another crazy. Anne.
The spirit box crackles again. Help me, the voice pleads, making their hair stand on end. Anna, how can we help you? Mo asks, but there is no response. The silence is deafening. The ghostly presence lingers, but Anna remains quiet. With the spirit of Anna making her presence known, the investigators press on, their curiosity overshadowed by growing dread. Mo recalls a chilling event from a previous visit. A shadowy apparition had appeared behind him, only to vanish the moment he turned around.
Richard. Is that, yeah, Richard Booth as well? I think this is Richard Booth. That's a really old grave.
What is that?
Oh, what the f? You just tapped me on the shoulder? No. Actually?
Somebody tapped you on the shoulder?
Literally 3 taps on my left shoulder. What? Like, actually, I thought you just tapped me.
No, bro, I was just filming this thing right here.
You guys were freaking out in the comments, he says, addressing his audience. It was right behind me. The footage had captured a large, human-like figure, but in real time, Mo saw nothing. Was it Tom? Was it something else? A malevolent force watching from the darkness?
I'm not gonna say the name. It's really hard to not say it. What was that? You see that?
I saw something.
I thought I saw something like fly through here.
Me too. But just from the corner of my eye.
Oh, look at these graves
Check
here.
these names, you want to see?
Oh, wow.
Milburn. Milburn.
No.
Bro.
You think so? It said burned, and that says Milburn. Bro.
I don't know, man.
No way.
No way. And look at that.
The thought alone is enough to send a wave of unease through the group. Yo, Tom, you want to show yourself again? Mo calls out into the night. His voice, steady but filled with anticipation. The idea of being watched suddenly becomes overwhelmingly real. How many spirits are lurking in the shadows, observing their every move? Thousands? Perhaps even spirits from an era before this cemetery existed? This land was once home to Native American tribes. Could it be their restless souls wandering, seeking peace? A sudden rustling in the bushes makes them freeze. The sound of heavy breathing follows, but there's no one in sight. Did you hear that? Mo whispers. His partner nods, eyes wide with fear. The sound grows louder, closer. Then, as quickly as it started, it stops.
So many mosquitoes. Somehow they're getting in. I think we let them in, to be honest. That's interesting that we're...
What is that?
That was a female scream.
No, just wait here. Just wait.
What is that? What is that? You see that? What the f is that?
Bro, there's like a white figure right there. There's a white figure. What is that? Oh my god.
Wait, that's towards the cemetery. That's towards the cemetery, right?
Then, a scream. A blood-curdling sound echoes through the trees, followed by the sight of something white moving in the distance. Did you hear that? Mo gasps. That yell! We heard a scream. His partner stiffens, scanning the area with wide, fearful eyes. The spirit talker device remains eerily silent, offering no immediate explanation. Then, suddenly, the word feathers appears on the screen. Feathers? Mo repeats, confused. And now it says, Angel.
We heard a scream and then some white figure? That's gotta be it, right? Hello? I'm not getting anything on the spirit talker. It's still going too. We got feathers though. It said feathers. That was weird.
And I said angel. It's white. Bro, I literally looked like a ghost or some type of angel.
What the was that? Torch. Yeah, we have a torch. We got a flashlight.
Their eyes dart back to the white figure, still visible through the dense foliage. Could it be an angelic presence? Or something disguising itself as one? Mo ponders aloud. The figure resembles a ghostly shape, its movements unnatural, almost floating. As they inch closer, another word flashes across the device. Torch. We have a flashlight. Does it mean that... His partner asks, lifting the beam toward the figure. But as soon as the light hits the spot where the figure stood, it's gone. No footprints, no broken twigs, nothing. Whatever it was had vanished into thin air.
So this is still exactly the same area where we've seen it.
Bro, you're crazy. We're actually going towards there?
Yeah, bro. That went straight to the actual graves, bro. Let's go this way.
The night grows colder and the air thickens with an oppressive energy. Then, without warning, Mo lets out a cry of pain. "Something scratched me," he yells, clutching his back. His partner rushes to his side, panic-stricken. "Bro, please take a picture," Mo pleads, feeling the burning sensation intensify.
Are you gonna hurt us though? Like we just want to camp out the night. Is that okay? Do we have your permission?
My back! My back!
What happened?
Scratching me!
What?
Scratching me!
What are you talking about?
Ow!
Yo, you okay?
Oh, scratching me! Get me the get in here!
God. Oh my God. Something just scratched my back. Oh my freaking God. Oh dear God.
Yo, you okay?
Oh dear God. Oh dear God. Oh my God.
As they check his back under the camera's light, the horror becomes undeniable. 2 deep, parallel scratches run across his skin. "He came from behind me," Mo exclaims. The wounds are fresh, their redness stark against his pale skin. But what's even more terrifying is the precision.
Ready? Is there anything on my back?
Oh my God, bro, right here.
Wait, actually?
I don't know if you can see that. Yeah, right there. Holy,
Actually?
huge.
I told you I got scratched up, bro.
There's like 2 lines right here.
Actually.
Yeah, actually, huge. And more here.
Really? Can you take a picture for me? Oh my God. Dark entity here. Oh my God, it creeps behind you. It came from behind me and it scratched me from behind, bro.
The marks are identical, perfectly even, as if something with claws had raked down his back with calculated force. "Something massive scratched me," Mo whispers, his mind racing. As the night nears its end, Mo and his partner realize they have overstayed their welcome. Whatever spirit or entity resides here has made it clear it does not want them around. "That's enough for tonight," Mo says, packing up his equipment, but deep down he knows this is far from over. Before leaving, he turns to the camera one last time, addressing his loyal viewers. If you enjoyed this investigation and want to see more, follow me on Instagram and check out the merch store. We do this for you guys, and we appreciate all your support. With that, the 2 investigators make their way out of the haunted cemetery, their minds heavy with the horrors they've witnessed. One question remains: was this their last encounter with Tom, or is something even darker waiting for them next time? In this thrilling journey, we meet Angelo, an explorer who takes his viewers on a wild adventure to abandoned and haunted locations across the globe. His aim is to document these eerie spots and share them with his audience, allowing them to experience what he uncovers. He emphasizes the thrill of exploring places that are often forgotten or left in disarray, giving us a peek into locations that were once full of life but now stand still in time, waiting to be discovered. Angelo's channel, Exploring with Angelo, is dedicated to showcasing some of the most mysterious and spooky locations. As the episode starts, Angelo hints at the eerie and unusual things he is about to encounter during his travels. The setting is ominous, filled with suspense and an ever-growing sense of dread. From the start, you feel a creeping sense of curiosity and unease as Angelo prepares to venture deeper into a place that might hold secrets beyond the ordinary.
What's up, guys? Welcome back to the channel. We are embarking on a brand new adventure. We're actually out here in Northern Ontario, back at a place that I dubbed Angelo Island, which is literally right there. It is this small little petite island. I got here and I was like, it looks like I can actually still cross over. So if you guys remember when I came here during the summer on my way to Western Canada, which is in fact where I am heading again, we came here. We heard some crazy stories about a camper who actually came to investigate this island, which is in fact haunted. I have no idea by what. I do think that it is potentially a portal of some kind. I have yet to be able to confirm that. We might actually wait until it's much later and then maybe come back and investigate.
As Angelo begins his journey, the suspense builds. The setting appears calm, but there's something about the location that doesn't sit right with him. The initial moment set the tone for the rest of the exploration. The quietness of the surroundings amplifies the tension. A fridge, strangely out of place in the middle of an overgrown area, piques Angelo's interest. He wonders aloud, could there be something inside? Is it possible that the fridge holds something sinister, like a body?
This is all about... I just noticed this. Like, why is there just a fridge? I think it's a fridge. Dude, what if there's like a dead body in there? Like, it just seems really out of place to have a fridge that's obviously tied up. The hell? Thought I heard something. I'm like so wanting to open it. I don't know if this is a good idea, but... Oh, somebody did open it. Nope, nothing in there.
This thought lingers in his mind, adding an element of fear to the adventure. He can't shake the unsettling feeling that something is wrong with this fridge, and yet he's unsure whether his suspicions are just his imagination running wild. The oddity of the fridge, tied up and placed in such an unexpected location, makes Angelo hesitate. The quietness of the surroundings only deepens the mystery. The viewer is left to wonder, along with Angelo, is it just a fridge, or is it something more? Angelo's exploration continues, and he cautiously approaches the fridge to investigate further. At this moment, he hears what he thinks is a noise in the distance. Was it a gunshot? Or was it something else entirely?
Dude, what if there's like a dead body in there? Like, it just seems really out of place to have a fridge that's obviously tied up. Thought I heard something. I'm like so wanting to open it.
The faint sound grows louder in his ears, but he can't quite place it. Just as he's trying to figure it out, another strange noise catches his attention. It sounds almost like a scream, sending a chill down his spine. It's moments like this that make the viewer question what's truly happening around Angelo.
But yeah, I mean, I do have my rifle with me, just in case we run into a situation like that. I guess we'll go inadvertently moose hunting without wanting to. But let me go and see what the hell this is all about. I just noticed this. Like, why is there just a fridge? I think it's a fridge.
As Angelo ventures further, the eerie atmosphere thickens. The sounds become harder to ignore. At first, he hears something faint, like a faint thud in the distance. But it soon grows more distinct. He starts to suspect that he's not alone. There are movements around him, small noises that sound like footsteps or whispers.
Well, I definitely remember this. It's really beautiful out here. So quiet. Damn. So this is the first lake. There is another one, and that's kind of the one that I'm aiming to get to. What was that? Is that a gunshot? Like I said, people do hunt here. So we could see people hunting, or hearing them, rather. Thought I heard something else. Not a gunshot, but something else. Sounded like it came in that direction, which is where I'm heading, essentially.
He's left to wonder if the place is truly haunted, or if someone or something is out there with him. As his investigation intensifies, Angelo talks to the spirits using a spirit box. He asks simple questions, but the answers seem vague and unsettling. Is someone here? He calls out, but the response is unclear. The unease grows with each passing moment as Angelo becomes more aware that something is not quite right. Despite his nerves, he presses on, determined to uncover the truth about this mysterious place. The viewers are kept on the edge of their seats, wondering whether Angelo will find answers or if the unknown forces will continue to elude him. A sharp sound in the distance catches Angelo's attention, sending him into high alert. He believes that it came from down the path, and it's just enough to send his heart racing. There's something haunting about the way the noises echo in the silence, leaving him feeling both excited and scared. As he tries to rationalize what he hears, he asks himself if the source of the noise is an animal, a person, or something else entirely.
I don't even know which area I want to go to. I'm thinking back there. First things first, I gotta clean up my backup camera because it is literally driving me crazy. Yeah, there ain't nobody around. I'm like half expecting somebody to show up, but there's no one here. I don't even know where that trail goes. I'm kind of curious of that too, but I don't have too much daylight. Oh, finally gotta clean that. Okay, that should be better.
His hesitation shows as he contemplates whether to move forward or retreat, unsure of what the next step will bring. At this point in his exploration, Angelo finds himself in a deeper, more secluded area of the site. It's warmer here, a stark contrast to the coldness he felt earlier. The shift in temperature adds to the eerie vibe of the location. Angelo feels the presence of something more, something ancient. He's been exploring for a while, but now he's beginning to feel that he's tapping into something far older than he initially expected. He presses on, trying to make contact with any spirits that might be lingering around. This is when the real tension ramps up. Angelo speaks to the air, asking questions about the location's past. "Is anyone here?" he asks, trying to make contact with any spirits lingering in the area. The response he receives, though brief, only deepens the mystery. He wonders if the spirits in this place are too shy, unwilling to reveal their secrets, or perhaps they have no desire to interact with him at all.
Okay, is there somebody hunting out here? Okay, I want to get back to there. That was. I mean, I know what it was, but like, why? I kind of feel like if somebody's gonna take some shots at me or something.
With every unanswered question, the silence becomes even more oppressive, and the unease mounts. It's as if the land itself is holding its breath, waiting for Angelo to make the next move. As the investigation progresses, the sense of dread becomes almost palpable. Angelo picks up a strange feeling, as if he is being watched. He stands still for a moment, hoping to hear something, anything that would explain the strange occurrences he's witnessed so far. Just as he's about to give up, a faint voice echoes through the air.
The sun is officially going down. I keep periodically hearing what sounds like gunshots down there. I don't know, but got a nice fire going, about to set up the tent, and we're gonna actually investigate. I don't know if this place is haunted. It might be.
Suffering, the voice whispers, sending chills down his spine. Angelo is left speechless, wondering who or what is suffering and why. The answer leaves more questions than it provides clarity. Angelo presses on, determined to find out more. He asks more questions, hoping for a clearer response. "Who are you?" he asks, but the silence is overwhelming. He stands in the stillness, waiting for any sign that something is present. A sense of unease continues to grow, and it's clear that something is lingering nearby, just beyond his reach. Angelo's curiosity keeps him from backing away, but the darkness around him only intensifies, as if something is drawing closer. The tension reaches its peak as Angelo hears more noises around him. This time, it sounds like footsteps.
Was anyone murdered here?
Disagree.
Okay, disagree about what? People being here a long time ago? I'm hearing something from down there. I've been hearing something. It sounds like almost like somebody's walking around out there, but I'm not sure.
Angelo's heart races as he realizes that someone or something is getting closer. The sounds are unmistakable. Someone is outside his tent.
I think someone's outside my tent. Where's the
He rushes to check, but as he does, the footsteps suddenly stop. He stands frozen, straining to hear anything else. The night is silent again, but the feeling of unease lingers.
Oh, same thing. Hello? It's cold out there. I was like barely asleep. It sounded like somebody walked up to the tent.
Angelo wonders if he's imagining things, but the unsettling feeling refuses to leave. He decides to wait it out, hoping that the presence he senses will reveal itself. The tension is unbearable as he remains in his tent, trying to calm his nerves. He asks himself if it's an animal or something else, but deep down, he knows that it's more than just that.
I'll give it a minute. See if anything happens again. So for a second I thought I heard music and a car. I don't see why anybody would be coming in here at this time.
The sounds were too distinct to ignore, and they made his heart pound with fear. The viewer is left wondering if Angelo will confront whatever is outside, or if he will be forced to stay hidden, alone in the darkness. Finally, as the night continues to unfold, Angelo feels the weight of the situation bearing down on him. The events of the night have left him shaken, but he doesn't back down. Despite his fear, he decides to stay and press on with his investigation.
Okay, it is much later now. Couldn't really sleep. I think I've literally slept maybe 10 minutes in the last like 2 hours. I don't know why, but I just wanted to make sure there was like no one here. Or at least nothing here, I guess.
The chilling atmosphere makes it difficult to sleep, and every small sound amplifies his growing dread. He spends the rest of the night in quiet anticipation, wondering what more this haunted location holds in store for him. But even as he waits, the unknown continues to haunt him. As Angelo reflects on the night's events, he shares his experience with the audience. The chilling discoveries and the eerie atmosphere make this one of the most memorable explorations of his career. The journey, filled with suspense and fear, leaves both Angelo and his audience wondering if they will ever truly understand the secrets that this place holds. Joe Weller and his friend Elliot decided to check out an abandoned school that Joe had gone to until the 2nd grade. The school had been closed for 15 years, and there were rumors that it was haunted. Elliot convinced Joe to go explore the building with him that night to see if the rumors were true. They packed a bag with essentials, including flashlights, water, chocolate muffins, and their phones.
Here we have packed a bag with essentials. We got a little flashlight, okay, water, obvious reasons, and then chalky muffins in case, you know, worse comes to worse and whatever. And then phone.
And set off on their adventure. When they arrived, they saw the broken down building surrounded by a large, old fence with sharp wires at the top. The windows were broken and overgrown ivy covered much of the building. It was clear that no one had been there for years. Joe and Elliot felt nervous as they got closer to the entrance.
What? I can see eyes through there. Can you see eyes? Look, look, look. What is that? What are you on about? Through the fence. Eyes? No, there. What? There. What the f*** are you talking about? No, you were shining a
But they were determined to explore. As they walked around the building, they found a hole in the fence that they could crawl through. They hesitated for a moment, but since they had come this far, they decided to go for it.
You in? Yeah. Oh my god, I can't see shit.
After getting through the fence, they carefully walked towards the school. The building looked huge, with walls covered in ivy and parts of the roof falling apart. Joe felt uneasy as they got closer to the entrance, but Elliot was determined to keep going.
Oh my god. Oh my god. Shit.
Once inside, the feeling got even creepier. The hallways were dark and the air felt thick with dust and the smell of mold. Their flashlights lit up the rooms, showing broken furniture, peeling paint, and pieces of what was left behind. Their cameras started acting strange, focusing oddly as they moved deeper into the building. Joe's camera in particular seemed to stop working properly as soon as they stepped inside, making everything feel even more unnatural. They walked into a classroom and found burnt cricket guards and ripped teaching materials on the floor. A creepy, messed-up Thomas the Tank Engine doll was sitting in the middle of the room, which felt strange and unsettling in the middle of the ruins. The weirdness kept building as they moved on, and they found an open window that led to another room, and they carefully crawled inside. They filmed their surroundings, being careful to avoid the broken glass on the floor. The room was just as damaged as the others, with old furniture and teaching tools scattered around. But things started to feel even stranger. Joe mentioned feeling cold air coming from one side of the room, like something was blowing in from somewhere.
You film ahead, I'll film us. Yeah?
Alright.
Then you film in front of us.
Mate, this was the reception.
Oh my god, I'm getting so much air from there. Bruv, no, wait. Inside there, like loads of air just came
I
out.
can feel. There's probably a door.
It seemed like there was something odd going on, but they kept exploring. Suddenly, they heard a noise from upstairs.
There's probably a smashed window. Oh, the name.
What the f was that?
A single footstep echoed through the building, making them both stop in their tracks. They looked at each other, unsure of what they had just heard. Elliot suggested they go check it out, but Joe seemed unsure.
Did you hear that?
Yeah, what was that?
What the f was that?
I don't know.
No, it was a proper like from upstairs.
I heard that.
From upstairs, it was like a footstep, like one footstep.
Hello?
No, don't do that shit. Like seriously, I don't know if I want to be in it, bro. How do we get out? What the f was that?
What?
Did you just touch
No,
me?
swear down.
And the air felt thick with tension. They quietly moved forward, trying to stay as quiet as possible. As they walked through the building, they found another strange sight. A room with a big object covered by a sheet. When they pulled back the sheet, they found a dirty toilet on the ceiling, which made everything feel even more surreal and creepy. They couldn't understand why or how it was there, but the real shock came when they tried to leave the building.
You good? Yeah. Ah, shit. You good? Shit, we need to get out of here ASAP. That, bruv, you heard that footstep in it?
Mate, no, swear to God. There was like just one.
One singular footstep from upstairs.
As they walked toward the exit, they saw a horse standing just outside the fence. It seemed to be blocking the way, not letting them leave. Its eyes glowed strangely in the flashlight beam, and it watched their every move. Joe and Elliot tried to stay calm, but the horse followed them, not letting them get past. They tried to walk around it, but it seemed like the horse didn't want them to leave.
Because that horse keeps stopping us from getting out.
We're in between the ghosts and the horse.
As they tried to get around the horse, they realized they were stuck between the creepy building and the strange horse blocking their way out.
Oh God! Oh God! Oh God! Mate, what's it doing? No. Mate, what is it doing? What is it doing? Mate, it's a demon horse. I'm running for it, okay?
Elliot and Joe tried to jump over an electric fence to escape, but Elliot accidentally shocked himself. The pain from the shock only made things worse, and they quickly realized they needed to get away. The horse kept circling them, making everything feel even more tense. Finally, they managed to get past the horse and the fence, but the fear from what had just happened stayed with them. They quickly left the area, their hearts racing as they tried to forget about the strange things they had seen. The horse and the odd sounds in the building stayed with them, even after they left. Even though the horse and the creepy feeling in the abandoned school were strange, Joe and Elliot were relieved to be out of there. The mystery of the haunted school would remain unsolved, but they couldn't ignore the fact that something unusual had happened while they were there. They were left wondering if the strange things they saw were just their minds playing tricks, or if there was really something supernatural going on at the abandoned school. In this spooky episode of Hunting the Dead, Jody Dean and his team start a ghost hunt that quickly goes from strange to scary. As they walk through the location, weird things begin to happen almost right away. A bathroom door slams shut by itself, even though no one is touching it.
What is here? Whoa! What the fuck, motherfucker?
Setting the mood for what's coming next. The team quickly becomes alert, with one member saying they heard a growl.
Jody?
but they aren't sure if it came from inside or outside the house. The tension builds as the group starts to feel like something is there with them. Jody moves carefully through the area, feeling the rising tension. They hear more strange noises and see more odd movements. The team finds a Ouija board.
You know, Mask and I found a Ouija board here.
Did you really?
Yeah,
Is that the one you buried?
I know. I wish that I found another one though, because I don't know how you feel about the Ouija board though.
And they talk about the ghostly energy it may have brought. Jody tells a story about how his grandfather used to do experiments with a card table, which would lift on one leg in response to questions, even though no one knew how it was happening.
I have a grandfather that lives in Florida. He's in Clearwater, Florida, and he has a card table. Like, you'll
Really?
ask questions, and then
The card table will move?
it'll lift up on one leg. Like this table, I don't know what it is about this table, but even my stepdad saw it. He doesn't believe in shit. Like, he had no explanation for it.
They talk about past experiences with similar things, but as they go deeper into the place, the feeling in the air gets heavier. Things get even more intense when they start using a special camera called the SLS Structured Light Sensor camera, which can pick up figures and show them as stick figures on the screen. The team begins to see strange shapes moving on the camera, making everyone feel more uneasy. Jody's voice shakes a little as he asks the spirits to make themselves known. The team's nerves grow, but they keep going, hoping to capture something real. They think there might be a child's spirit around, or something darker hiding nearby. The feeling of being watched becomes almost too much to handle. Things get even creepier when an orb appears on the camera.
So I can go handsies.
See this?
I had a flashlight. I'm like, holy shit, there was just a fucking orb behind you.
There was an orb?
It went this way.
I didn't know if you said orb or the org.
Floating behind one of the team members. But as the orb fades away, the mood changes. The team hears a strange voice followed by more mysterious sounds, which makes the tension rise even more. The feeling of being surrounded by something invisible continues to grow, and it's clear that something, or someone, is near them. When they turn their attention to the outside, things get even scarier. Jody notices that his car is suddenly running, even though he had turned it off earlier. Panic sets in as they rush outside to check on the car, their minds racing with fear. Could the spirits be trying to talk to them through the car? Or is something even worse going on? The team wonders if the spirits they've been trying to reach, named George and Elan, are somehow involved in these strange events. The feeling that they are being targeted gets stronger when they hear a voice that sounds like it's mocking them. Realizing they've reached their limit, the team decides to leave the haunted place. Their nerves are shot, and the awful feeling doesn't go away. They can't shake the thought that something is following them, watching them as they try to escape. It's clear that the spirits they've been interacting with aren't friendly, if they were even human spirits at all. As the team hurries to leave, the night becomes a blur of fear and confusion. They can't be sure what they encountered, but it's clear that something ghostly happened. The strange voices, the figures they saw on their devices, and the weird events with Jody's car all point to something far scarier than they first thought. The night ends with the team feeling a strange relief, but also a lingering fear that what they experienced isn't over. The spirits they met might still be around, and the questions about what really happened that night will leave both the team and the viewers wondering what's beyond the world we know. A lone explorer, armed with nothing but his survival gear and an iron will, ventures deep into the heart of an isolated forest. The air is thick with an eerie silence, broken only by the occasional rustling of leaves and distant animal cries.
Honestly, I've never known a woods with so many strange noises. It's not just your normal birds and stuff and planes. There's a lot of planes. There's like this weird, I don't really know how to describe it, but I'll burn out in a bit, sit here and enjoy a fire for a little while and then, yeah, head to bed. The hammock's really comfy, thank God, so I should sleep well, I would think.
He has spent years navigating the wilderness, but this night feels different. Something unseen lurks beyond the glow of his campfire, watching, waiting. His breath is steady, but his mind races with questions. What if he's not alone? What if the stories about these woods are true? Determined to challenge himself, he embarks on a daunting task, spending 48 hours alone in the wilderness. With only his hammock, a flickering fire, and the darkness surrounding him, he prepares for a night filled with uncertainty.
Don't judge me, there's only about 4 in here. Maybe 5. You can't waste good balls. Anyway, not bad at all.
He speaks into the camera, trying to mask his nerves with a casual tone. This is it. 48 hours in the woods, alone. No backup, no one nearby. Should be fine, right? A forced chuckle escapes him, but it does little to ease the rising unease creeping up his spine. The forest, though serene by day, takes on a sinister persona as night falls. The distant sound of children screaming, a gunshot echoing through the trees, and an unsettling cacophony of noises shatter his initial confidence.
That's a bird. That's a gunshot. I don't know if you'll be able to hear a lot of this, it's pretty distant, but it sounds like kids screaming.
The crackling of twigs beneath unseen feet sets his heart pounding. His flashlight flickers slightly, making the surrounding darkness seem even more oppressive.
What the was that? I don't want to turn the light on because I'm pretty convinced there's been a person or persons.
I swear to God, that was footsteps, he whispers, barely audible.
I didn't want to turn the light on earlier because I swear to God that was footsteps.
His breath catches as he strains his ears, listening. The wind? An animal? Or something more sinister? He tries to rationalize the sounds, perhaps animals or the wind, but a deep unease settles within him. The noises are not random, they feel deliberate. His instincts sharpen, his pulse quickens. As he gazes into the abyss of the night, every shadow morphs into a potential threat. He knows what deer sound like, yet the footsteps around his camp are too measured, too deliberate to be an animal. The tension grows unbearable. Then, another noise, closer this time. His hand tightens around the handle of his axe, his only real form of protection. I don't like this, he mutters. His voice is low, laced with fear, but he knows he has to keep filming. If something happens, at least there will be proof.
I've got no idea if you guys heard that or not, but honestly, I don't like it, I'm going to be honest. It's not deer, like I know what deer sound like. I've spent so much time with deer.
The night drags on, the silence between sounds becoming even more unnerving. Then suddenly, another noise, this time from a different direction. A rustling, then a slow, deliberate step. He freezes. He isn't imagining this. What do I do? He whispers to himself. Do I call out? Do I stay quiet? His heart races. He can feel the sweat forming on his forehead despite the cool night air. He grips his knife tighter. Whatever is out there, it hasn't left. Despite the growing tension, he forces himself to remain calm. He sits by the fire, the dancing flames offering a false sense of security. The hammock sways gently beneath him, a fragile sanctuary in an otherwise hostile environment. But then, a sound. A distinct movement just beyond the tree line. His heart pounds against his ribs. He holds his breath. Okay, I know I heard that, he says, voice shaking slightly. I don't want to turn the light on because I don't want to see what's out there. The weight of his own words settles over him like a suffocating blanket. What if he turns on the light and sees something, or someone, standing there? Another step. Closer. His breathing quickens. He closes his eyes, listening harder, trying to pinpoint exactly where the sound is coming from. Then the realization strikes. This is not just paranoia. He is being watched. A primal fear grips him as he listens to the relentless footsteps circling his tent. Minutes feel like hours. His survival training clashes with the raw terror coursing through him. He debates his options: confront the unknown or lie in wait. The hammock creaks beneath him, betraying his slightest movements. His only advantage is the element of surprise, but does he really want to face what lurks in the shadows? A sudden snap of a twig sends his pulse into overdrive. The fire crackles, casting ominous shadows that seem to move on their own. This isn't normal, he whispers, I don't know what's out there, but it's not an animal, and if it's a person, why are they just standing there? The fear in his voice is evident now, impossible to mask. He reaches for his knife, his fingers trembling slightly as they close around the handle. He has no idea what's out there, but he refuses to be caught off guard. Silence. Then another step. This time from behind him. He whips around, heart pounding. Nothing. Just darkness. The firelight barely extends beyond a few feet, and beyond that, the woods are a black void. His fingers tighten around the handle of his knife. The night stretches on, each second heavier than the last. He grips his knife, knowing that if danger strikes, he must be ready. The unseen presence does not waver. It lingers, taunting him with its silence. As dawn approaches, the forest begins to exhale, the tension easing with the arrival of light. He survives the night, but the questions remain. Was it an animal, a person, or something else entirely? He exhales sharply, rubbing his hands over his face. That was the worst night I've ever had, he admits. I have never, in all my time camping, felt that unsafe. Packing up his gear, he glances back at the trees one last time. The woods seem peaceful again, but he knows better now. There are things out there, things that don't make sense. For those intrigued by the thrill of the unknown, the world beyond the campfire is a realm of endless possibilities and chilling discoveries. And as he walks away, he can't shake the feeling that something, or someone, is still watching. Even now, as he tells his story, he still hears those footsteps in his mind. He still wonders, what if he had turned on that light? What if he had seen what was standing there, just out of sight? Scottish Summitier's latest adventure takes him to one of the most notorious, yet breathtaking spots in all of Scotland. Known for its spine-chilling reputation and unsettling tales, Louis Belt Lodge is said to be one of the most haunted campsites in the country. But for someone like Scottish Summitier, who thrives on exploring the eerie and unknown, this is just another opportunity to challenge himself, embrace the wild, and maybe, just maybe, encounter something supernatural. Leaving behind the small settlement of Kinloch.
Welcome back to another adventure. I'm back on the west coast of Scotland, and I've just left a small settlement called Kinloch Leaving back in that direction. Today I'm hiking to what is regarded as the most haunted camp spot in all of Scotland. There have been many reports of paranormal activity, and one particular case in which 2 people experienced some pretty terrifying events.
He sets out on a journey through the rugged Scottish Highlands. His hike is going to take him deep into the wilderness, far from any sign of civilization, to a place where, for centuries, people have reported strange occurrences, unsettling noises, and ghostly sightings. He's heading to Louis Belt Lodge, a crumbling ruin with a dark and terrifying history. And though it's all a little unnerving, he's excited. He knows the road ahead will be tough, with steep inclines and dense forests, but he's determined to make it to the haunted campsite.
This is insane how steep this is. Man, I'm roasting already. Can't really see too much just because this forest is quite dense, but I'm sure once we get above the tree line, the views will be pretty amazing.
From the very start, the hike is intense. Scottish Summitier makes his way through thick woods, the terrain incredibly steep as he climbs higher and higher. It's hard to see much through the thick canopy of trees, but he's certain that once he gets higher up, the views will be worth the struggle. And as he pushes through, each step feeling heavier than the last, he starts to feel the first inklings of nervous energy creep in. He's about to hike into one of Scotland's most famous haunted spots, alone.
Wow, that is Loch Leaving down there, and that is the wee village Kinloch Leaving. Got the Papa Glencoe on the left there. Oh man, that is some view. And then the Mamore Mountains over in this direction.
Though he tries to brush it off with a laugh, part of him can't help but wonder what awaits him at the end of this hike. The further up the hill he climbs, the more the weather starts to match his mood. Pathetic fallacy, he jokes, using the literary term for when the weather mirrors a character's emotions. It's gray, overcast, and slightly eerie, with clouds hanging low in the sky and a light drizzle of rain.
But you never get tired of it. Some view. And it looks like the sun's actually coming out now as well, which is ideal. So far the weather is perfectly fit in with what I'm doing today. what is that? Is that a pathetic fallacy when the weather matches the mood? I think that's what it is, but that's perfectly what it's been like so far. It's been pretty eerie, had quite a lot of rain, so it's nice to see the sun out. Hopefully it stays out for the remainder of the hike.
The wind rustles the leaves above him, and the forest seems to grow denser, making him feel like he's stepping into another world. One that's isolated, unpredictable, and mysterious. It's almost as though the land itself knows what he's about to do. But with every challenge, there's always a reward. After pushing through the steepest part of the climb, he emerges from the forest to find a breathtaking view of Loch Lay, nestled in the valley below. The surrounding mountains rise like ancient sentinels, guarding this remote corner of Scotland. Scottish summiteer pauses to take in the scenery. He's made it past the hardest part of the hike, and though the weather is still a little ominous, the view makes everything feel worth it. He stands there for a moment, enjoying the quiet and the peace that come with being so far away from the hustle and bustle of daily life. He remarks to himself how beautiful and remote it is.
This right here is Loch Eildymore, which looks pretty nice. And just up to the left is the mountain Sgurr Eildymore. Not sure which came first, but I'm pretty much following the shore of the loch. Don't know if you can make out the path just down there, but that confirms that it will be pretty flat, which is ideal.
A slight unease lingers. This isn't just any hiking trip. He's heading to a campsite with a dark reputation, one that people have whispered about for decades. As he continues on the path, he begins to notice just how isolated the area is. There are no signs of other hikers, no paths leading to nearby villages, just a vast stretch of wild, untamed nature. It's peaceful, yes, but it's also unsettling. The weather takes a turn for the worse, and the rain picks up. For a moment, Scottish summiteer finds himself completely alone, with nothing but the wind and the sound of water lapping at the shores of the loch.
You can see the sun is trying, it really is trying, just quite cloudy. But making good progress along the loch. Hopefully be by it pretty soon. I wish I was staying in that. Don't know if that's a wee bothy, but I'm pretty sure you can't stay in it. Must be privately owned. Looks really nice though, doesn't it? With some pretty amazing views. But not for me, unfortunately.
It's moments like this when the weight of isolation really sets in, and a creeping sense of discomfort wraps around him like a cold blanket. Still, he pushes forward, determined to reach his destination. Eventually, the path flattens out and joins a 4x4 track, making it easier to navigate the rugged terrain. With less uphill to contend with, he picks up his pace, but even with the improved trail, the feeling of being out in the middle of nowhere is never far from his mind. He passes a few more waterfalls, their sound mixing with the rhythm of the rain, and occasionally the clouds break, letting the sun peek through, casting an eerie light over the landscape. Despite the gloom, Scottish summiteer is making good time.
I've walked past some really nice waterfalls, and the sun is fighting through the gaps in the clouds to make some pretty amazing views on the mountains. But I was just thinking to myself there, I've lost phone signal and I'm hiking alone in some pretty dodgy weather to a really remote spot, miles from anything else, and a spot that I know is one of the most haunted spots in all of Scotland.
He's about 6 to 7 miles into the hike, and while the challenging terrain has left him winded, the beauty around him is a great distraction. There's something about being so far out that it's hard to describe.
Any sane person would be saying to me, what on earth are you doing? And to be honest, I was just thinking that to myself. But I'm here now. I'm in too deep. I may as well enjoy it.
A sense of adventure, of thrill, mixed with a pinch of trepidation. After all, he's not just hiking into any random location. He's about to spend the night at Louis Belt Lodge, a place with a reputation for being haunted by the restless spirits of those who've come before. As he finally approaches the lodge, the ruin stands in front of him like a shadow from another time.
And there are some really nice views of the Louis Belt Lodge. There actually is a bothy in use just across the river there. I'd imagine it'd be quite hard to cross that river, especially in Spate. But it's a really nice bothy. Just super remote around here. There's nothing really around apart from mountains. Look at those mountains, they look Pretty amazing. But the sun is going to drop behind those hills pretty quickly, so I'm going to get my tent up before it gets dark.
The crumbling walls and roofless structure exude a sense of decay and abandonment. And yet, there's something about it that draws him in. The wind howls around the ruin, sending leaves and debris swirling through the air.
I think the weather is making this place a lot more creepy as well. Don't know if you can hear that, but it's really windy and it's blowing the trees above this ruin, which just adds to the whole eeriness of the place. But I'm going to look for a spot to pitch my tent because we've only got, I think, an hour until it gets dark.
Standing in front of the lodge, it's hard to ignore the stories that have been passed down over the years. The whispers of ghostly footsteps, strange noises, and objects being thrown across rooms. Despite the chill in the air, he steels himself.
The most haunted camp spot in Scotland. Pretty eerie off the bat, not going to lie. I think I'm going to go and have a look around before I pitch my tent or anything. Right, let's see what this place is all about. Can't lie, I'm a little bit creeped out. Wish me luck, guys. So this is the Louisbelt Lodge ruin right here.
This is why he's here, after all, to explore the haunted grounds and see for himself if the stories hold any weight. With a nervous chuckle, he reminds himself that he's not a stranger to creepy spots. He's done this before. Still, something about this place feels different. The stories of the hikers from 1973 are fresh in his mind. Those two young hikers had been seeking shelter in the bothy, only to be terrorized by ghostly noises throughout the night.
But I wanted to tell you the story of why this is considered the most haunted camp spot in Scotland. And it dates back to Christmas 1973, when Louisbelt Lodge was used as a bothy for hikers. And two young hikers, I think they were around 18 to 20, decided to stay in the bothy so they could get a fire going, light some candles.
Footsteps, rocks being tossed, and at one point an ice axe being thrown across the room. The pair had packed up in a hurry and left, never to return.
And in the middle of the night, they were awoken to footsteps in the room next to them, and the sound of a rock being tossed across the floor from upstairs. They decided to ignore it and try get some rest for a big day again in the morning. And then again at 4 in the morning, the sound of the ice axes being tossed across the floor erupted in the living room.
The lodge's haunting past adds to the atmosphere, but Scottish summiteer is determined to stay. He chooses a flat spot nearby to pitch his tent. But the weather isn't being kind. It's still raining steadily, and the wind continues to whip through the trees, creating a cacophony of eerie sounds. As he sets up his camp, he can't help but glance back at the lodge, its broken windows staring out like hollow eyes. Once his tent is up, he settles in to relax, waiting for nightfall. The rain patters on the tent, a soothing sound that helps drown out the creaking of the ruins. As night fully sets in, he can't help but feel a bit on edge. The darkness in the woods seems to close in, and the sound of the wind swirling around the lodge makes the whole place feel alive in a way that's hard to shake. But despite the fear creeping up, Scottish summiteer remains determined to stick it out.
Oh, on that terrifying note, I'm going to try get some rest, and I'll update you if anything happens. If not, I'll see you guys again in the morning.
As he lies in his tent, reflecting on the history of Louisbelt Lodge, he recalls the eerie details of that infamous night in 1973, notably influencing the author-naming decision to be termed deeply herbed. In 1973, the young hikers had been shaken to the core by the supernatural occurrences they experienced.
So they decided, right, we're not having this anymore. So they got up, they lit some candles, at which point one of the candles they lit was tossed across the room. So they decided, we've had enough of this. They packed up all their stuff, they left the bothy, never to return.
And yet, as he lies there, he feels no such disturbances. No strange noises, no footsteps, no shadows lurking in the corners of the ruin. It's almost quiet. Too quiet. But the night passes without incident. No ghostly encounters, no sudden flashes of light or unexplained sounds. Just the rain and wind, the occasional creak of the tent, and the ever-present, creeping feeling that something just doesn't feel right. When morning finally breaks, Scottish summiteer wakes up feeling both relieved and a little disappointed. While he'd been hoping for some sort of paranormal encounter, he's left with nothing more than a peaceful, albeit eerie, night surrounded by nature.
Well, good morning everyone. I have packed everything up and I'm ready to go. As always, I've left no trace. You always want to make sure you leave the camp spot exactly how you found it. Louis Belt Lodge is looking pretty creepy this morning with this gloomy weather.
Packing up his tent, he takes one last look at the lodge. The weather is still gray, and the entire ruin seems to stand there silently, almost as if waiting for someone else to uncover its mysteries. As he makes his way back down the path, the rain picks up again, and the muddy trails make for a slower journey. The sense of isolation lingers, but he's glad to be heading home.
I have one last look inside. It's got a pretty creepy feel to it, to be fair. As all ruins do, to be fair, but this one in particular, just because of the stories. And for context, I was camping just through that window on that wee grassy spot there.
No ghosts, no strange occurrences, just a wild night in a wild place. And though he didn't experience anything ghostly himself, he knows the stories will always be part of the lodge's legacy. By the time he reaches Kinloch, he reflects on the experience. How beautiful and remote the area is, how haunting the ruins are, and how the stories surrounding Louis Belt Lodge will never quite fade, even though he didn't encounter anything otherworldly. Some places just hold on to their mystery, no matter how many times they're explored. And as Scottish summiteer leaves the remote hills behind, he knows that the adventure isn't over. There are always more stories to uncover, more wild places to explore, and who knows, maybe next time he'll encounter the ghosts of Louis Belt Lodge for himself. Well, that's it for today's video on the most disturbing camping encounters ever caught on camera. We hope it gave you chills and maybe made you think twice before your next camping trip. If you liked this video, make sure to hit that like button, share it with your friends, and don't forget to subscribe for more creepy content. Also, drop a comment and let us know which story scared you the most, or if you've ever had a strange experience in the woods. Thanks for watching, and remember, nature can be amazing, but always stay safe out there. See you next time, and keep your eyes peeled for the unexpected.